So now that we've done the wall hung tiles, next step what we need to do is put LED flashing. So we're going to take these off and we'll dress LED here, because when we, as you can see, we have a spot where technically it could leak. Not that it would do, but what we want to do, we want to make sure that we do all the necessary steps, even though we're going to put a dry ridge kit, so if there is driving rain or some sort, so it never can get wet. So what we'll do, we'll dress LED, we'll take this tile off, we'll move this off, and then we'll dress LED along this pattern so we can hang our tile back on, and it will be dressed around so it covers the ridge. So if any water does get in there, it will run down and out. So that's what we're gonna do, and so it can't go back in there. So that will be our, if you like, soaker, last soaker there. And yeah, the ridge kit will be all dry, so that's fine. That's where we are. That's what we've done, as you can see, yesterday. So I'll just prep this up, and then once this is done, we'll cut this tile in, and we could technically finish off these tiles and concentrate on finishing the main roof. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. We finished the dressing LED, finished the tiles on the wall. So next step, we'll go back to infilling these two sides of the roof, and then we're going to go on the front or back. Reason being is because I want to use the trestles, and I can then walk around easily. I can set them up. It's just going to be easier. So we do the two sides because we set up already for it, and yeah, that's where we are at the minute. And I've been nailing every 5th row. Forgot to mention, of the tiles. So yeah, every 5th row is nailed, and obviously the bottom couple rows are to hold the first tiles in. So yeah, that's where we are, and I'll catch you in a bit. so what we've done, just catch up. We've cut the one of the hip tiles, bonnet tiles. So show you. That's one cut. So I, as you can see, have left this unfinished because what I want to do, I want to do the same on the other side and leave the middle out, bearing in mind that we have set it up because mostly we need to cement all the bonnet tiles anyway, so it's easier just to walk on the button rather than on the tiles, and you will break some. So yeah, and in the situation where we got, because we don't have scaffold, it's not high enough for me to put ladder on the roof, which I would do in normal circumstances. So yeah, what I'll do instead, we'll go do the other side. So as you can see, we started, so we'll just jump up, we'll go all the way to the hip, and we'll repeat the process of cutting in bonnet tiles or hip tiles, call them whatever you like. And yeah, so we're gonna make sure we get all the cuts done, everything what we need to do in terms of cutting. So we'll have ridge to finish as well, but the ridge is dry fit, so that's fine, and that is not a problem. So yeah, that's where we are. We'll jump on another side and we'll repeat basically the process what we did. So I'll catch up with you in a bit. Right, so we have cut all the hip tiles or bonnet tiles, call them whatever you like. So next for us is ridge. So the ridge is out, and then we will check. Technically we would need to do a fascia board to make sure that when we do the cement on bonnet tiles nothing drops. So the trouble is we've been slightly let down. Wherever this order came from, they didn't add 2 pieces in, which is actually the main thing which we needed, is fascia board. So we got all the soffits, this stepped soffit, and only 2 lengths of fascias. So we got sides but not the back. So I'm not sure if I'll try a bit later take over the back and see how if there is any movement at all, and if there is, then obviously we can't really do cementing, but then we'll jump and work on a soffit, because that will take a bit to do. So hopefully by the time we've done that, we'll be able to get our missing bits and finish that off. If it stays okay, then I'll do the cementing and finish the roof first, so I would like to get it done, so I can give those boards and bandstands away, so that can be given back, etc. So yeah, that's where we are. I hope you've been enjoying it. We'll catch up with you in a bit. because we got such tricky angles on our soffit, what I'm using the offcuts of OSB what we had left, so I'm mimicking all the cuts. So this is where it goes like so, of the bottom of the rafter, and that's where it's gonna, so this is the going underneath of the rafters which come down, and that angle is 30 angle, which is our pitch, representing to take the fascia board basically. So what I need to do, because we're gonna be cutting a mitre on a corner there, I'm gonna be cutting like a dummy cut, just to make sure, like a jig if you like, just to make sure it all marries up, because obviously this is not just a standard wood, so it's an order, so you can't really muck it up, and it's better to be safe than sorry. So I always suggest, if you've got some trickier cuts to make, then use offcuts of OSB or whatever you like to make yourself a pattern, and that way you're going to save yourself from unexpected mistakes, or unnecessary mistakes. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing now, prepping this up. So we know the angle should be about 45 on a corner, but yeah, so by cutting this way I'll be able to get it where I need it by placing two pieces which will form our corner, and that way I'll see how it all sort of marries together on the corner there. So without it, obviously you're risking that you cut it slightly wrong angle, and then you have one short end. So because you want ideally have it in one piece if possible. Not always going to be possible, but if you can, then it will be better. So yeah, so that's why we're doing these dummy cuts first, just to make sure we're all good in the hood. Hi everyone, just an update really. So we've been doing this fascia soffit, as you know, it's all blocked off. So in terms of how long it will take you, I would say double your time you allow for it, because from your normal fascia soffit in plastic, because oak is not straight, and yeah, it takes a while to actually do it. So what I've chosen to have is these sort of screws, like a decking screw, like that, small heads so you can pull in, and over time it'll disappear, and you're not going to be seeing really you're not going to be seeing the heads. So other thing what I had, if you remember, we've streamlined all these to cut. So what you will end up having, possibly, moving of the timbers, of the beams. So that might happen. So I would say it's not a lot. So what we'll do, we'll put our fascia or soffit, sorry, straight, and we'll just trim the ends slightly. I had to do a couple there, about 2-3 mil. So if possible, I would say do your fascia soffits first to stop it from moving, because obviously that helps, that ties it all in. So yeah, that's another thing. So the longer we leave, the more likely it will move, because timber obviously dries, especially in this heat what we got now in UK, which is great, but it does mean that it will sort of dry things out and they will start moving about. So yeah, that's where we are. And on the end, what we'll do, we will use offcuts what we have there, and we'll just trim them up with green oak again. So that's where we are, and I'll catch up you in a bit.